with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second.
Okay, is it just me or does it not look that clean? I mean, it really... I could still see a little bit of jitteriness there. It's not a fully buttery smooth 60 FPS or definitely not 120 from what I was seeing. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm seeing maybe I'm just imagining things. But yeah, it didn't look as super, like especially in the drop when she dropped off that cliff, did not look like even 60.
Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5.
I mean, I can obviously see the difference, of course. Yes, it's much more smooth than the PS5 fidelity mode, but it still doesn't seem like at the level that we would want to see at this point for where we are with PCs. Like, it doesn't even seem close.
Which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
Right.
This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rate has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Again, this game is pretty old at this point. I mean, it's not brand new anymore, so this is not the best showcase. Like, you should have been able to achieve this when the game came out.
And Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5.
Okay, 45% increase is not close to doubling. I mean, please. I know he's talking about... That was specifically for the rendering, so maybe overall the power increase is close to doubling, but I don't know. It's him saying that. It doesn't line up with what I'm seeing. It doesn't feel like close to doubling the power.
Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second.
Okay.
What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
I could see it. Yeah, I could definitely see that. It's not so substantial that it like blows my mind or something, but I mean, I can definitely go, oh yeah, it's a little sharper, cool. You know, if I really focus on it. Because in the moment, in the gameplay, you're not looking at the trees, the moss on the building in the background, right? So it's really not going to affect your gameplay. It's not some substantial increase to where you're like, whoa, this blows my mind. The game's like twice as good now because of this. No, it's just a minor detail increase that you don't really notice. But maybe if you stop and smell the roses every second of your gameplay, you'll notice it. Like, I don't know. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer.
Again, it's not like look at this. It's maybe a little bit less pixelated, but it's still pixelated, right? Yeah, it's not crazy good. It's not some huge increase.